Hey, good morning from 321. It's morning here in Rochester, New York. We're getting down to it. Stevie here with the dogs. They're all gathered here about. There's Tucker. Taylor's here on the couch next to me, her favorite spot. And Toss is at our feet here. But I wanted to talk for just a moment about pets, dogs, pets. If you have pets and you're bringing them along, and of course, if you have pets, you're going to bring them along. So, if you have small pets, definitely, get on board quick with how can you get them in the plane with you. There's ways to do that. If I think it's, usually around 35, 40 pounds or so, something like that, you can take them on the plane with you. If they're a little bit bigger, I think you can actually buy a seat for them on many of the commercial flights. And of course, there's always private flights. If you have bigger pets like we do, multiple pets like we do, all of our dogs are between 85 and 95 pounds, so big dogs. And that's a whole nother situation. If you have big dogs or bigger pets, horses, things like that, and people travel with all kinds of pets. So don't be afraid of traveling or moving with your pets. There's solutions. There are several airlines that will take your beloved pets in the hold, and they do it quite differently now than they used to. The holds are lighted, they have music playing, they have proper crates. It's properly warmed or air conditioned for the pets, things like that. And hi Tay. And you're able to have them in some comfort. Of course, it's still quite scary for them in that kind of situation. But there are several places, several companies that specialize in doing that, and they have some very good results from it. There are also several companies that will fly your pets inside the cabin. We'll talk about that here in just a moment. There's also a company, the Queen Mary 2. It's a cruise ship, and a couple of times a year, they will cruise your pets across the ocean. It's a fabulous way to do it, depending on where you're going from, where you're going to. It's 8 days to 14-day cruise, I believe. It's relatively inexpensive, kind of falls between the flying them in the crate underneath in the plane and flying them inside the plane with you on a private plane. It sort of falls in between. The expense. And it's a nice way to kind of have the introduction. You get a nice little cruise across the ocean, some chance to unwind, etc. But it's the only place that does it, cruise ship that does it, from what I understand. And we did have many discussions with them trying to get on board, but they're usually booked up a year and a half, 2 years in advance. They book up quickly because they have very few places. But they do dedicate an entire staff to your pets. They have a whole board flight or a deck flight that's dedicated to the pets, people to take care of them. They basically crate them when you're not there. You have 2 or 3 times a day where you can go and visit with them and walk them around. They have their own deck that they get to play on. So it's sort of like going on a cruise vacation, taking your pet with you, and having your pet's own concierge to take care of them, which is fabulous, right? So we did try that. Couldn't get on board couldn't get on board in the timeline that we had. So we ended up with taking the dogs inside the plane with us. We will be boarding a Gulfstream jet, 9 pets, 9 passengers, and flying over from the east coast of the United States we will be landing in Paris, and the pets will be on board with us inside the plane. 6.5, 7 hour flight, I think. And you do a little meet and greet before. You get on the plane. I think you do your meet and greet around 8 o'clock in the evening. You get on the plane 9:30, and you're up in the air at 10. You land at 11:30 the next morning in Paris. It's only a 6.5 hour flight, but it's a 6 hour time difference. So. You get off the flight in Paris, and there you are. You're there with your dogs. It's not cheap. There are several places that do it. We're traveling with Canine Jets. They've been fabulous thus far. There are a couple other places that do it as well. I think BarkBox has BarkFly or something. They do it. I believe there's one other. They're all priced pretty much the same. Service is a big deal. Having the meet and greet with the pets is a big deal, and the experience of the flight crew and the staff and how they handle things obviously a big deal. So we chose to fly with our three big dogs inside the cabin with us because for us, especially being big dogs and Tucker being almost 7 now, it just seemed like the most secure way we could do it would be the kindest, gentlest way to do it with our crew. So that's how we're doing it to get that done and to get the pets into France in general. There is no quarantine in France, which is great. You do have to go through, make sure your pet has an updated rabies shot and certificate. Our pets were only 1 year into their 3-year rabies shot, but they suggested we go ahead and get a new one anyway, which we did, and that's reasonable. You have to have that done within 6 months of leaving. Within 10 days of leaving, you have to have your international pet inspection from your international authorized veterinarian, and there's some paperwork that has to be done, and all of that takes some time leading up to that 10 days to get it done. And then all of that has to be presented to the flight people prior to you being able to arrive and board your flight. And then, of course, it has to be presented to the TSA people prior to getting on the flight. And again, when you deboard, you'll have to present that. When we deboard in Paris, we have a 5.5-hour drive to our new home, which is in southern France. And there's a pet taxi, a pet limousine, that will be picking 3 people, 3 dogs, and 10 pieces of luggage up. They have vehicles large enough to take care of that and handle it. And they will drive us the 5.5, 6 hours to our home, stopping to allow for the pets to have a break, for the people to have a break, and for us to pick up a few things at the grocery because we won't have a car for a couple of days. So Happy Saluki Pets, Pet Limousine, are the people that will be doing that. Very reasonably priced, and they work in conjunction with the Canine Jets people quite often. So they were kind enough to refer us to them, and all of them, of course, came to us through the French Connections HCB people, who have been fabulous to work with. But there is a lot to it. But our friends, our pups, our pets, our cats, dogs, ferrets, whatever, they're our family, right? Especially for us. All of our foster kids are grown up and on their own and have babies of their own. And these fur babies are like our children, and they are family. So we treat them like family, and it costs more to get them over than it does to get us and our furniture over. So, but we're happy to do it. It's not the quickest or easiest thing to do, but if you've got fur babies that you care about as much as we do, it's the right thing to do. So figure out what the right thing to do for you is, and so far as getting your animals over, know there's choices. There's choices both for your budget and for how you feel about the travel situation, for the size of the animal, etc. Make the right decision for you, and then make sure that you get all the things you need to do done properly well in advance of your trip, so that there's not any hiccups. Last thing you want to do is get to those gates and find out that you can't get on there with your dogs or your cats or whatever pets you have. So make sure that part is taken care of. Pay very close attention to it. Don't let it slip by, and know that there are some real solid deadlines that you have to meet time-wise on taking pets overseas. All right, next up, probably we're going to talk about cars, getting rid of the one you might have, whether you should take it with you, and all the rental car hoopla that goes around leaving and arriving at your new destination. Talk to you again. Thanks for coming on our journey with us, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.